Sarah Palin, she dominated the headlines this week with her East Coast bus tour, and here's the final installment of my interview with her on that, her potential presidential aspirations, and much more. You know, the recent public policy polling shows you and Herman Cain tied for second in Iowa with 15% of the vote, and Mitt Romney with 21%. So you're right up there. You haven't announced, you haven't given any indication you'll announce, but you did talk about this fire in the belly issue. I know you spoke about that with Greta. Maybe after this tour, do you have a different perspective? Are you more inclined, maybe now that you want to get in?
I'll tell you, this week of touring has been one of the best weeks of my life. It's been an honor to get to meet so many amazing, wonderful Americans who are deeply concerned about the country and do want to restore what's right about America. It's been great being with my family on the trail. Yeah, the fire in the belly, I mean, it rages on even after this week and then continuing through the summer at different points in the summer, continuing different parts of the country to tour. I look forward to that. But, Sean, I also know not only do I love my freedom, my independence, just, you know, not having a title and not being a declared candidate, and that is liberating, but I know that you can make a difference as an individual. I think I've proven that, and hopefully I can inspire others to know you don't need a title, you know, don't need to be in office in order to affect positive change. So whether I'm a candidate at some point or just a supporter of the right candidates, I look forward to what these coming days, weeks, months bring. You
know, are there candidates that you look to that inspire you, that give you confidence? Let me give you an example. And we interviewed Mitt Romney. He was on the program last night. And I interviewed him just before he was to make his announcement, had some pretty hard words for President Obama. And the way you had some comments, I'll give you a couple of the headlines. It was Palin fires shot at Romney at Bunker Hill. Palin steps on Romney announcement with health care jab. Palin attacks Romney's record on his announcement day. Does that mean that maybe, and we asked him about the health care mandate issue, which was this about, but was that taken in the right context?
You know, isn't that funny what reporters try to do? You know, it's not a slow news day when Mitt Romney declares his candidacy, so I'm surprised that they would take one comment that I made and act like it was a slow news day and try to make it into something bigger than it was. Yeah, I happened to be standing on Bunker Hill when asked, but a reporter merely asked me, how do you think Mitt Romney will do with the Tea Party movement? And I said, well, his one challenge will be his support of a mandate at the time for health care coverage. Because, like, I don't like government mandating anything on a local, state, or national level. From that, it turned into Palin takes a shot on Bunker Hill at Romney. You know, that's ridiculous. That's sensationalizing a simple answer that I gave out of respect for a reporter who's shouting a question at me. So that's kind of ridiculous. Mitt Romney will add good things, good discussion, healthy debate in this primary process. I'm thankful he's running. Each one of these candidates will offer great strengths, and I look forward to the vigorous debate that will no doubt ensue.
Is there anybody that inspires you of the people that either are in now or appear to be getting in? I think Rick Santorum's in next week. It seems that Michelle Bachmann, Congresswoman Bachmann, is getting in. And that pretty much leaves the field. Maybe Huntsman, maybe I read Jim DeMint, and the only other maybe is you.
I can find inspiration. We all should find inspiration in each one of these individuals, Sean. For one, they are willing to sacrifice a lot to be a candidate, and their families are willing to sacrifice. That's inspiring right there. They love their country that much, and they're smart enough to be part of the GOP, part of a common sense conservative movement that should be sweeping our land here shortly, and I have confidence that it is. So that right there is inspirational. They all have their strengths, and I look forward to really seeing those strengths being made manifest in the way that they debate and campaign.
All right, Governor, one more last question, and so back to you for one more second, if I may. With this fire in the belly comment, with this being, as you said, one of the most inspirational weeks of your life, being on tour and meeting people, obviously you're very engaged in the issues, concerned about things, and you've left open the possibility one day you may run. When do you think you'd need to decide by to have a viable campaign where you can compete in Iowa, compete in New Hampshire, South Carolina, those early primary states that matter so much?
Well, I've never run any kind of traditional, I guess, or conventional campaign, not in the 2 decades that I've been involved in public service, from the city council and mayor and governor and then vice presidential campaigns. Never have I done anything I think that could be considered real conventional. So I'm not too worried about a conventional timeline to have to follow. I would say that is still weeks away, Sean. But in the meantime, you know, as I'm here in New Hampshire tonight, just being very, very inspired by people who truly know that America is the exceptional nation. And really, there is no alternative for mankind when it comes to governance than what it is that we have here in America and our freedoms. And if we don't restore what it is that we have in America, and hearing from these people encourages me to fight so hard for that, again, whether it's as a candidate or a supporter of candidates, if we don't restore what's good about America, then our country is going to be really no longer the America that we can recognize, and our world will be less safe. So we've got to fight hard. We've got to fight together, and I look forward to these coming weeks and seeing how the field is going to shake itself out.
And coming up